This is Chris. Welcome and congratulations on creating a new tenant account with Dynamic Ref. Today I'll walk you through the setup process so that you can get your organization ready for game assignments. So you'll notice here we're in the setup dashboard here. So today I'm going to walk you through how to get your organization ready for game assignments so that you can start sending assignments out to your referees via the mobile app. So you'll notice here on the left hand side with our setup progress bar, we're going to be working through a few of these here. So sports, billing organizations, categories, divisions, roles, persons, locations, teams, and mobile users. So we'll go through these one by one. So first we want to click manage sport types. So this takes us to sports, create new sport. So this is where we want to create whatever sport we're assigning for. So let's say it's football. We create. And if you want to create multiple sports that you're assigning for, or the organizations that you work with, you can create multiple sports. So you can create football, baseball, soccer, all of them. So now we'll just do football for this example. So now this is important. We want to click dashboard and then continue setup. Okay. So now you'll notice a green check mark next to the sports bar here. So next, billing organizations. So we're going to click billing organizations, create new organization. So this is the organization that you are working with. So whatever league you're working with or school, this is where this information will go. This is very important. So I'm just going to put in some fake information here. So this is what you'll do on your end, but you'll want to put in the real information for your organization. So I'm just adding in email contacts, phone numbers. So you want to do this for your contact at your organization. And then after you get that, you want to click create. So now that we add an organization, again, you can always add more, but for this demonstration, we're just going to add this one. So then when you're done with that, you again click dashboard. So then this takes us back. We click continue setup, and now you'll notice 2 green check marks. So we're on our way to getting the setup completed here. So next is categories. So now we want to click manage categories. And this gives you a nice little explanation on what this is. So categories let you use a single team name across multiple groupings. If billing needs to go to different entities, create a different team instead of sharing the same team. So some examples of categories: boys A, girls B, 9th grade. This just allows everything to stay nice and organized in the system. So let's click manage categories, create new category, and we can just call this 10th grade or whatever category that you want to use. That is fine as well. So click save. So now we'll click dashboard and then continue setup again. So now we got another green check mark. So now divisions. So now we want to click manage divisions. Again, above that, it says divisions are important because the game charge can be based on the division. Every game must belong to a division. Some roles, such as referee, can also base pay on division. Okay, so let's click manage divisions. Create new division. Let's just call this division 1. And this is for our sport. We don't have to do this because it is optional, but let's select football. Ref pay will do that later on, but for this is for the game charge. So this is the amount of money that the organization is paying you for this particular game. So we'll just put in arbitrary number, $50, create. Okay, and then what do we do next? We click the dashboard. And then we click continue setup. now we're back to our setup progress bar. And next is roles and payrolls. So above manage roles, we'll read this. It says create at least one role and enter a default pay amount for each role. A role is not a person. A role describes what job someone can perform. You can use default pay only or optionally configure more specific pay rules by sport, division, or sport/division. So let's click Manage Roles. So here we want to create new role. So this is where we can create a role for referee. Now we can set how many referees we want for each game. For this example, we'll just use one. Default pay, you can set that here. If the default pay is whatever amount you pay the referee for the game, here we'll use $35. And we'll just leave this at use role default pay, which is the simplest method, and we'll click create. Okay, that's created. We can see referee, default pay, all this information on this line. Next, what do? We click dashboard. And then we go and click continue setup. Okay. So now next is persons. So then that says create people who can be assigned to games. This step is complete only after at least one person has at least one role assigned. So let's click Manage Persons. So now we want to create a person. So we see everything, first name, last name, email address, phone number, so all the important information. And this is where that we're going to add our referees, and we'll be able to select the sport. So let's just add in some information here. Obviously you'll want yours to be real, so for your referees, this is where you'll add at least one referee here for the setup, so that we can get started in sending your game assignments to your referees. Okay, so now we will select referee, and this is the eligible role plus sport. So we added football as our sport, so for this we will select football. Now you can add this particular referee to multiple sports if he officiates multiple sports. And you can always come back in later in the system and change this as needed. So now we will create. Okay, so now we obviously have the ref admin, which is myself, but now we added a referee. So that's done. So now what do? We click dashboard and then back to continue setup. So then we want to click manage locations. Before that, let's read this again. Create locations where games are played. You can also use import games if your schedule file contains locations. All right, so let's go ahead and click manage locations, and now create new location. So this will just be the location for the game. So I'll just add something in here. You'll put in the location or the field for yours. I click create, dashboard, continue setup, and now teams. So manage teams, create teams. You can also use import games if your schedule file contains teams. And what it means by import is you're able to import multiple games at one time in the system. So if you have a CSV file that you get from your organization or multiple organizations, you are able to upload those games all at one time. You do not have to create them one by one. So obviously that would take a lot of time. So whether it's 10 games, 50, 100, that's fine. As long as it's formatted correctly in CSV, it will upload correctly to the system. But for this example, we're going to click Manage Teams. Then we're going to select our organization. Okay. And we are going to create new. Okay, so team name. So let's start with our name, and then we're going to add in a contact. And then team city. Zip code. Obviously this information I'm entering is just fake, but for yours you want it to be real. And then you select the billing organization. So I'll read this reminder up here. Every team should be connected to a billing organization. That's very important. Select the correct billing organization before creating the team. If you came from the team search screen, the Create New option appears after you select a billing organization and click Search. Okay, so we did that. We're going to create. Okay, so now that is done. Now we're going to click Dashboard. And then we go back to Continue Setup. So now mobile users. So above mobile user management, we'll read this here. It says, if the email address is already used in a different tenant, you may be asked whether to still give that person access. So let's go ahead and click mobile user management. So now we want to create a new user. Now what this is doing, this is setting up the login details for your referees so that they can use the mobile app. It's on Apple devices and Android devices for free for all of your referees. So this is, I'll just put in some information here. Again, you want this to be real for your referees so that they're able to log into the mobile app so that they can start confirming all of the game assignments that you send them. Okay, and then this is where we add the access level. For this particular person, we want to do referee. Okay. So that's done. Now we're going to click Dashboard. And guess what? We have now completed the setup guide on the DDS Dynamic Ref app. So now you are ready to start managing games, set assignments, create more games, import games. So yep, that was just a quick one-by-one setup to walk you through that where you can start getting your organization ready for game assignments. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.